Hello, hello. So, for those that don't know me, I'm Claire and I'm the founder of the Good Vibes Collective. I'm a multi business owner. You've got some of my little different areas of expertise shown on that slide. I've been in network marketing and community and team building now for 20 years. And in tonight's episode, we're going to be looking at something that is one of the most powerful things behind success, behind happiness and growth, and that's self belief. We can all have our goals, our plans, and all of the tools in the world, but if deep down we don't believe that we're capable of something, it's like driving with a handbrake on. It's not about being arrogant or having a massive ego. It's about rewriting the stories that you tell yourself and trusting in your own abilities, backing yourself, and creating a mindset that supports your goals. So everything we do in life is impacted by our self-belief. And it's not just about confidence. It's not just about standing tall, speaking up, or feeling sure of yourself. That's part of it, but it is deeper than that. It's that internal knowing that no matter what you face, you're capable of working it out. It's not about being the best or having all the answers or never doubting yourself. It's about trusting that you can. Sorry, somebody's just tried to call me, so I think that might have kicked me out, but I should be back. It's about trusting that you can learn, you can adapt, and you can grow. And even if things don't always go to plan. Confidence is all that the world sees, but self-belief is the root beneath those confident actions. It's what gives you the courage to take action in the first place. Think of it like building a house. Confidence is the walls and the roof of the house, but without a solid foundation, if there's a little storm, then without that solid foundation underneath, the walls are going to crack. So self-belief is the foundation to your confidence, and it's going to hold you steady in that storm. So when something comes to test you, the most powerful part of it is that you don't have to feel confident all the time. You can feel nervous or you can feel scared, but you still hold that inner trust that you are capable of handling whatever it is that comes your way. We've all got an inner voice. It's an internal narrator that's constantly commenting on what we do, who we are, and what we're capable of. Most of the time, that internal voice is automatic and we don't even realise we're doing it, but that running commentary shapes how we see ourselves. It can be our greatest ally or it can be our biggest enemy as well. Sometimes it's really supportive and empowering, cheering us on, pushing us forward, but other times it's far less kind to us and it becomes a critic. It highlights our flaws, it means we dwell on our mistakes, and we convince ourselves we're not good enough. That inner voice isn't always telling the truth. It's the stories that we repeat to ourselves, and they do become the life that we live. It's not always related to business or to progress or to goals. It can be anything that your internal voice is telling you. You could be telling yourself you're too short, too tall, too fat, too thin to wear a particular outfit. You could be telling yourself you're too old to wear red lipstick. You could be telling yourself that you're not adventurous enough to go parasailing. We're holding ourselves back from so many things in life because of that internal narrative that we've got. And if you keep telling yourself that you're not capable, then you stop trying. But if you're telling yourself the opposite, then you start to take actions to prove that to be true. Absolutely, Victoria, constant training is needed for the voice. Absolutely. What we believe about ourselves dictates what we attempt. It dictates how we respond to challenges. And if you believe in yourself, you put yourself forward for more opportunities, you'll try new things, you'll go beyond that comfort zone. That belief that you've got, that internal belief, fuels the action, and that does lead to progress. So if you believe you're not good enough, you're not ready, or you're not worthy, you'll hesitate, you'll talk yourself out of things before you even give it a try. But because there's no action, nothing then changes. So you're reinforcing that belief that you can't do something. Self-belief also means that you view challenges as part of your journey. You don't see a setback as a block. You see it as a lesson and a chance to learn. and you become more resilient and more determined. And our episode a couple of weeks ago was building resilience. So if you haven't seen that one, take a look at that one as well. Ultimately, self-belief shapes everything. It shapes the choices that we make, the actions we take, the habits we build, and the results that we ultimately create. And it's the difference between staying stuck or taking action to build a life that you actually want. It is definitely easier to listen to the negatives. So most of that self-doubt doesn't actually belong to us. It's thoughts that are often planted over time from somebody else. So as a child, lots of us believe we could do absolutely anything. We could be an astronaut, we could be a superhero, we could be a world famous pop star. Anything we dreamed of. Maybe a comment from a teacher that you'll never be good at maths, or you'll never be good at singing. Somebody's told you that you're a bad singer, and you wanted to be a pop star. It could be a failed exam. It could be a friendship breakdown. It could be a job rejection, something that made you question your value. And over time, those little moments pile up and it becomes the story that we tell ourselves. So if you tell yourself that you can't speak in public, you'll never try. Your message will always stay unheard. If you tell yourself you're not good enough to run a big business, you never will, and the business will stay a dream. If you tell yourself you don't deserve love, you'll settle or you'll push somebody away. Another part of it as well is comparison. So comparing yourself to others and measuring yourself against them. It could be career-based, it could be appearance-based, relationship-based. It makes us believe that we're falling short when we compare to somebody else. Then society adds to that expectation as well. So society often tells us what we should be doing or what we should be achieving by a certain age or at a certain point in our lives. So these external messages merge into that internal narrative of not being clever enough, good enough, worthy enough. And that's what we keep telling ourselves. It's important to realise that these stories aren't facts. They're old stories, often written by somebody else, but your subconscious mind does cling to them, like Susan, mother. Like my mum said, you cling to those negative stories. It's a form of protection. It's your brain trying to stop you from experiencing failure or embarrassment or rejection. But what it actually does is stops us from growing, from learning, from achieving things. Every one of these limiting beliefs is like an invisible cage holding us back. But once you realise that they're not truth, then they can actually take away the power of them. You can question them, you can rewrite them, and you can choose beliefs that are going to support who you want to become. The reality is they're only protecting you from reaching your potential by listening to these limiting beliefs. So changing those ingrained beliefs isn't something that happens overnight, but the start of it is being aware of them. Noticing the words that you use about yourself to yourself. So much of our self-talk runs on autopilot. We don't even question it. But once we start to notice it, we can see it for what it is. And then the next step is to start challenging it. So where did that belief come from? Is it actually true? Have you got any evidence to prove that it's not true? Most of the time at this stage, you can start to lose the power of those beliefs because you're finding out that they weren't actually based on reality in the first place. Then you need to flip the script. So you need to swap those limiting beliefs for something that's going to support and empower you. So if you're telling yourself, I can't do this, maybe you can't, but you're learning how. Or I can't do this yet. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough yet. I'm improving every day. I always fail. No, every single attempt at something, even if you fail, is a chance to learn and to grow. And like those little things might seem insignificant, but over time it will change how you see yourself and how you see what you're capable of. And then finally, you need to repeat those beliefs. Your old beliefs are built on, they're made stronger through that repetition. So that new belief needs the same thing to take hold. So you need to speak those beliefs out, or tell yourself, think it over and over again, act on those beliefs. And the more you do that, the stronger they'll become, until those new thoughts are the ones that actually guide the decisions that you make. So my story here. So for a long time, I had a belief that I wasn't confident enough to speak in front of people. And I don't necessarily mean standing up in front of a room of people. I mean things like this. And that was, I didn't think I was confident enough to do it anymore, because I used to do these sort of things 2 or 3 times a week. I used to host calls, lead Zoom sessions for hundreds of people at a time. And I genuinely enjoyed it. But somewhere along the way, I lost that belief in myself, started doubting my value, and questioning whether I'd really got anything to share with people, and whether there was anything worth listening to. And that little voice in my head got louder and louder. And eventually I stopped doing them altogether. The idea of hosting a session like this absolutely terrified me. And then I started them. I started these back in June, and I can't believe it was June that I started them. My inner voice used to tell me that I'm not a speaker anymore. People don't want to take me seriously. They don't want to listen to me. And I believed it. And then I had a little bit of a wobble, not going to lie, about 6 weeks, 2 months ago. I was having 1 week off of episodes, and it turned into 5 weeks, because I started telling myself that nobody would miss it, somebody else can do it better. I was probably just wasting my time. Thank you, Victoria. That means a lot. Deep down, I knew that what I was telling myself about the episodes wasn't the truth. Eventually, I decided to start challenging the thoughts, and I asked myself, is this really who I am, or is it the story that I'm telling myself? And I started to take little steps, practicing talking to the camera, to kind of rebuild that muscle and get used to it again. Then I started sharing short live videos or reels on my Facebook, rather than jumping into episodes like this straight away. And each time I realised that the sky didn't fall down. Everybody's still alive. It's fine. Nothing bad happened. And people actually listened. And people told me that they found value in the things that I was sharing as well. So the more I pushed through that, the stronger the self-belief actually became. That's the ripple effect of self-belief, hence the ripple on the screen. It starts with that one little moment of courage, and before you know it, it leads to saying yes to other things and getting bigger and better with everything. So here I am now doing these sessions, and it's proof that the story that we tell ourselves isn't permanent. Even if you've lost belief in yourself along the way, you can build it back, and you can build it stronger than before. And as Victoria said, it is something that needs working on all of the time. It's not just a one and done thing. So self-belief isn't something that you're just going to wake up one day, suddenly have it, and have it forever. You build it bit by bit, day by day. And it's through the different actions that you take. It's not about a big dramatic change. It's the small little actions that reinforce that message that you can trust yourself and you can trust your abilities. So I got out of the rhythm of doing these episodes as such, and I'd let the limiting beliefs and self-talk creep back in. There wasn't one big turning point for me to get back into them. It was small little moments. So challenging myself to post a video on Facebook, or to go live, or to hold myself accountable and announce the next Zoom episode or the topic. Those little wins then started adding up. Started to make little promises to myself. So write a list of topic ideas, write some new sessions and compose the slides for them, and the background research. And I've actually got a few prepared, and this one is a newly prepared one, because I felt like this was a perfect place to slot it in, because it's so relevant to what's been going on with me recently. So I kept a note of all those little wins, a little mental note. I didn't necessarily write it all down, So when I'd shared a video online, when people had said about how much they'd enjoyed something that I'd posted, or they'd asked me whether I was returning to the episode, those little mental notes, that became evidence that I could do it again. So what I want you to do is think about the stories that you tell yourself. And if any have popped into mind over the call and you want to stick them in the comments, feel free. But over the next week or so, I really want you to start paying attention to the stories that you're telling yourself and listening to your inner voice. And every time you catch, I can't do that, I'm not good enough for that, I don't deserve that, pause and challenge it. Ask yourself, is it really true, or is it just a story that you've been repeating to yourself? Flip it into something that is supporting you. I can't do this. Turn it into, I'm learning how to do this. I'm not good enough. I'm improving every day. I'm getting better. I always fail. No, you don't. It's a chance to grow. So if you do that every day for the next week or so, write it down if it helps. You'll be amazed how quickly your inner voice starts to shift when you make those small conscious choices to speak to yourself a little bit more kindly. Self-belief isn't something that just happens, as I've said. It's something that you build word for word by word, and thought by thought. And this is your chance now to start rewriting the story that you're telling yourself by noticing those internal words that you're saying. So if you've been listening tonight and you're thinking it's really something that you need to work on, there is something a little bit extra as well. So go away and do those 7 days of paying attention to your inner voice. But I've also got a 30-day challenge as well. It's a 30-day self-belief challenge. If you want a copy of it, it's just 30 little simple tasks, little challenges that you can give yourself to do, one a day over the next month. Don't necessarily need to do them in order. Each one of those things is designed to perhaps push you out of your comfort zone a little bit in different ways, help you think a little bit differently, and build your confidence day by day. They're easy little things. It's not something big and massive that I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to go and do one of these episodes or anything like that. If that's what you want to do, then great, but that's not going to be something that's for everybody. But when you do these little things consistently, they're really powerful. By the end of those 30 days, you should be able to look back and see how much your self-belief has grown. Not just in what you do, but how you feel about yourself as well. So if you want a copy of that, then drop me a message after the session. Or if you're watching on the replay on YouTube, then drop me a message then as well, and I'll send it over to you. So you can email me or Facebook me or WhatsApp me. I've got the details coming up on one of the slides in a second, so don't panic about that. So this is one of my favourite quotes to end the session with. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that was Henry Ford. This quote sums up the essence of self-belief. The stories we tell ourselves become the limit or the launch pads. When I stopped telling myself that I couldn't do something and started believing that maybe I could, then things started to shift. These sessions, the community that I'm building, the content I'm creating, and more importantly for me, the personal growth as well. None of that would exist if I had chosen not to believe in myself. So whatever you're facing, whatever it is you're facing, remember that your thoughts are powerful. Listen to that inner voice. Choose to believe that you can do something, and then watch what a difference that makes. So we've talked about building self-belief. Now, there's something interesting that tends to happen after you start working on your self-belief. And the moment we start showing up with a little bit more confidence and taking steps, putting ourselves out there, there's a little voice that you've worked so hard on, find something new. And it starts whispering things like, who do you think you are? You're not good enough for this. And that's where imposter syndrome comes in. So it's the feeling that you're faking it, that someone's going to find out that you don't know as much as you think you know, or you don't deserve the success that you're getting, even though you absolutely do. So in a couple of weeks' time, the 5th of November, we're going to be looking at imposter syndrome, the confidence killer that people don't always talk about. And we're going to be looking at what it is, why it shows up when things aren't going well, and how to quieten that voice down. Again, this is something that really does relate to me in the past as well, and still recently as well. Still, it's all of these things are something that you're constantly working on. And for me, these sessions are not about me telling you what to do. They're sharing my journey and taking you on that journey with me. Thank you, Victoria. So, any questions that you have about anything, or if you want that 30-day challenge, you've got my email address there, claire.goodvibescollective@gmail.com, my Facebook profile, and you've also got my Facebook page and my website as well. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do share that on my Facebook profile on a regular basis. And if you haven't already, head over to my website, Good Vibes Collective, because I've got a free ebook available on there, which is Mastering Your Mindset and Unlocking Your Confidence. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope it has been useful. Thank you so much for the comments, and not, like I say, nice to see some new faces on here too. And I will hopefully see you in a couple of weeks' time. Bye for now.